Hello and welcome to the quarterfinals of the AMD Premier League. We are in the third quarterfinals to decide which one of these two teams will be moving on to the semi-finals in the AMD Premier League. We are in the second game of the best of three to decide that, and the first game went the way of Zenith very convincingly. So we'll see if maybe MiTH can put up a fight for this one and force out a third game. With me is Rhyme. He'll be my co-caster for today. Rhyme, welcome back.
Hello. Please, MiTH Trust, survive the first 20 minutes. Let's see if you can. Okay. Immediate nicks and OD bans from MiTH Trust. They don't want to play against the OD that Zenith likes to play quite a lot.
Yeah, they banned out in the previous game as well, right?
Yes, they did.
Yeah. And the ban
And also
was...
Nyx was banned. Visage just made it through this time, so I expect to see these teams pick it up quite quickly.
Yeah, Alchemist this time, not making it through. MiTH did favor the Weaver in the previous game. But yeah, as you mentioned, Visage making it through is kind of reason to pick it up. You don't want to give that away to Zenith. It's just, I mean, that's
He's the tri-lane monster.
Warrant. Yeah. So do you think that MiTH is going to run another aggressive tri-lane, considering their previous one kind of failed hard?
Last time they ran it because they saw the Chen pick up and they wanted to go with a tri-lane that could contest the Alchemist farm all the time. And as long as they didn't die to the Chen, they were going to do quite well at that. But the Chen immediately got a Centaur and screwed them over a bit there. And this time they've got a Visage, which is stronger than what they had before. Last time they had an SD and Lena. So hopefully, if Zenith don't pick Weaver here, they're going to try and grab that as well. In which case, they're definitely looking good for an aggressive tri-lane. And Wisp makes it even more likely.
Yeah. Wisp is a hero that Zenith does like to play. The combinations that they make with it, not necessarily with the CK, but still pretty strong, unorthodox combinations that we also see sometimes from teams like Alliance. So Phantom Assassin, for example, was their last played combination. Picking it up very early, I'm not quite sure if that's the right call. We had the IO completely ignored in the previous game, like not banned nor picked. So we'll see. And Zenith indeed with this already revealing that their tri-lane or dual lane is not going to be as strong. And they pick up a Darkseer with that, so that will be the hero that they'll send on the offlane / jungle if they wanted to. And don't give that much away with their lineup, I guess, apart from not having a very strong tri-lane.
Yeah, the tri-lane's going to be quite weak, but they already want to win their solo lane, which Darkseer is very good at. He always gets farm. He's always going to either do one in his lane, he's going to creep skip, he's going to double iron shell the creep wave, he's going to get pretty much complete free farm in a 1v1 lane. And if he's in against the tri-lane, he will go to the jungle and he will farm a 10-minute mech and he will go and teamfight. So he's very strong if you want a farmed 3-roll.
Yeah,
MiTH Trust are looking for their second pick right now.
Yeah,
I expect something like a Weaver.
Again, wouldn't you expect like more like already support to combine up with the Visage? I'm actually hoping that it will be a Naga Siren. I like that one as support.
I think they have to go for something that's stronger during the laning phase to just punish the Wisp pick. There's a slight chance they might try and block pick CK, but no one really ever does that anymore, so I think it's pretty much a guaranteed thing that Zenith are going to get that.
Yeah, no, they're taking their time, running into their bonus time.
Thinking hard about this one.
Yep.
They do not want to risk losing that tri-lane again.
No, I mean, losing your tri-lane is one thing, and then losing your mid lane, okay, but then not having your safe lane farmer being able to just keep you in the game, that's kind of tough. So, yeah, they didn't just lose their tri-lane, they got utterly destroyed, and they don't want to have that happen again. So Lifestealer will be their pickup. They played it in the previous game as well. It was their safe lane farmer. Lifestealer can be doing both roles though. He can be on the aggressive tri-lane, can be on the safe lane.
10 seconds.
I feel that he loses pretty hard to Darkseer, seeing as the Iron Shell just screws with the melee hero. Even though Lifestealer has Feast, he still suffers pretty badly. So he's going to be forced into the defensive or the aggressive tri-lane with the Visage. The CK is being banned out by MiTH Trust now, which means they do not want to play against the CK Wisp combo that Zenith has. Zenith, they ban Clinks again. I assume they respect the Clinks that MiTH Trust plays quite a bit.
I think so indeed. It is the CK and the Weaver banned out for Trust indeed. So CK still removed, regardless of Zenith not playing it all that often. But I guess that's a nice thing about picking up an IO and not picking up the combination straight away. You kind of force your opponent to ban out the CK or any other combination that they don't want to face. Weaver, for example, also something that Zenith does play with the IO. if the tether is there, you can just run around the target invisible and tether stun and go. It does work out quite nicely. Zenith thinking about their last ban. Which hero, or which maybe mid hero that they want to ban out? I mean, mid went very well for Yamate in the previous game. We still have the Queen of Pain and the Puck still there, both of them, so we could see a same matchup. Though, of course, it didn't really work out for MiTH. Maybe this time it will. It is the anti-mage that they end up going for in terms of bans, so...
Yeah, they want to ban the anti-mage so they don't give MiTH Trust the obvious option of going aggressive into the Wisp and leaving an anti-mage against a Darkseer, which anti-mage usually does fairly well in. They don't want to give farm to 2 enemy heroes instead of just 1, so they ban the anti-mage. They're going to be looking for their 3rd pickup now. I expect to see something either to pair up with the Wisp or for the mid lane.
5 seconds remaining.
Something like a Puck or a Quap wouldn't go amiss. Or they would go for the Razor immediately.
Well, Razor is very strong against Lifestealer, if he is on the same lane. It's a nice lane. I don't really like Razor mid unless he's up against an OD though. So I'm kind of curious to see how they're going to run that Razor. We've seen him
They're
in
going to
roles.
try and shift him to be against the Nakes all the time. Because Razor just destroys Nakes. Nakes can't ever go on Razor. Razor can just run after Nakes, use the static link if he's maxed it at all, and then he just runs after the Nakes and hits him. And then Nakes loses half his HP. And Razor can't be slowed very easily because of his passive unless Nakes has Rage up. And at low levels during the laning phase, you can't really rely on Rage to save you that much.
Well, the Queen of Pain will be the one that MiTH goes for in terms of mid lane. Maybe now Zenith will reveal that Razor is indeed on the lane where the Lifestealer will be, regardless of, not in the mid lane. So Puck could still be a possibility, but again, it would be the same matchup. They didn't win it last game. How can they win it this game?
I think Zenith are going to pick the Puck into that Quap, and then Yamate will still win that lane, and they just have to hope the Quap can do enough during the mid game to salvage the mid lane, I guess. There's a chance he could outplay Yamate, but seeing from last game, I don't think that will happen. They're going into their bonus time now. Zenith are thinking what they're going to pick now.
Yeah, they could still pick up a Chen/Enchantress if they want to go that route again. It worked out last time. But
picking a Chen when you have a Wisp is very, very dangerous because you rely on the Chen coming into the lane to salvage it, because otherwise you don't have any innate way of getting to the enemy. You have to tether stun them to set up for the Chen, which isn't ideal. And Chen can't be there all the time, so if you just go on the Wisp with the Visage, then he's just going to die if the Chen isn't there.
Whoa!
Pick up the Tusk.
Oh, this is the first time. Okay. I promised this to my sister. Eat a tuske. I just have to do that, sorry.
Okay. That has been done?
Yes.
Okay, this is the...
I could say the
I think
follow-up
this is the
sentence,
Tri-Lane
but
Tusk.
it is a Tusk. I like it. It's a support Tusk, right? Do you think?
Yes, I would expect it to be. The Razor isn't so good without quite a bit of farm. He needs the phase boots, he needs the drums, plus another item to really shine in the mid-game.
Yeah, and in the early game as well, if he goes roaming around with that IO extra movement speed for him, you're not safe for him. Even Lifestealer, I mean, you can dodge the damage with the Rage, but you'll still get boxed in by the ice. So you have to take the detour to get away from the lineup, and I like it a lot. I hope that it works for Zenith. On the same side, I hope that MiTH can fight a lot better than previous game. Maybe even have a 3rd game, because that at least would restore their honor a little bit. Because losing against the Tusk is not really something that you want to be doing after you just got destroyed in 15 minutes.
I think that Tusk can be quite viable, because if you have the IO and the Tusk as the dual support combo, then if they get good levels, if you win your Tri-Lane and they get their level 6 9 minutes into the game on each of them, then you've got this Tusk Wisp combo that's just going to TP, snowball you with the tether move speed, and then they can tether stun, they can, and then there isn't much that can survive that with the Wisp Spirits. You'd have to be around 1000 HP to even stand a chance of surviving.
Vengeful Spirit picked up by MiTH to try and break the chain of initiation maybe for Zenith. We have got the Visage, of course, this previous game as well, but then it was on the side of Zenith. Let's see what MiTH can do with it. Combined up with the Visage, it's quite nice if you get that Wave of Terror up before Soul Assumption hits. And we have a Morphling ban out for the last one for Zenith, so still banning out those heroes that can go solo up against a Darkseer. And still expecting an aggressive Tri-Lane with the carry.
Yeah, but when you have the VS along with the Visage, it means that if you get get the Nether swap off on a target, and then the Visage has his familiars on top of the VS. You can chain it into an easy familiar stun, and then when you stun, Howl of Terror, and then you use the Visage familiars, and they attack with their first few attacks. The damage is incredible with the minus armor. A puck ban from MiTH, they don't want to have that much again.
Yeah, I don't think Zenith was planning on doing that. They pick up a Tinker, one of the signature heroes, I believe, of 2 different players. I know that Yamate is it, but I thought that Ice might have been a signature hero for him as well. But he is, of course, on the carry role in the recent game, so we'll see what he ends up playing. And the Storm Spirit will be the last one for MiTH, so that will be their solo lane on the safe lane, probably. And then having still the Queen of Pain in the mid lane.
Okay. This is Yamate. This is Yamate Tinker. So he's gonna. I think the Quap has a slight edge in that mid lane, but if he goes Rocket Laser, he can threaten the Quap, which means the Quap can't play super aggressively on him. But I think he'll get out farmed unless he does the Much build, in which case he has to play quite safe. The Storm Spirit, I think, is quite disadvantaged against the Darkseer, simply because the Darkseer can pull the Radiant creeps to various neutral camps, and then get more than perfect CS at 10 minutes.
Yeah, and it's one of the heroes that is always on highest last hits if he gets to do what he wants. Let's see who's playing what. So for Zenith on this time, we'll be having Ice playing the Razor. He's followed by X Freedom, who will play a support Tusk. We have Ice on the IO. It will be Yamate on the Tinker. He'll be rotating mid. And then on the bottom lane we'll have the Darkseer. XY will be taking on that role.
Okay. MiTH, we have SD playing the Visage. We have R5 playing the support Vengeful Spirit. We have Lakels playing the safe lane Storm Spirit. He's going to be trialing this game.
Oh.
We have the pooled Queen of Pain, Abba, in the mid lane. And on the off lane, with the Quelling Blade and the Stout Shield, we have TNK. So
yeah, Storm Spirit on the safe lane. Now I semi like that. I mean, it means that there's not going to be an aggressive trial, and obviously, but Storm Spirit does need his levels.
I think what the idea is here is to make sure that the Darkseer can't quickly get a farm advantage on the Storm Spirit and can't like threaten to dive him or anything, and then the Storm gets uncontested free farm for the first 2 to 3 minutes with the tri lane, and then he has enough items to last out under the tower reliably and to force the Darkseer out of lane.
Oh, wow, XY stuck around for too long. He might be turning into the first blood here. He got slowed. The haste rune is up on Lakels, and that's gonna be the first blood. Purely because he wanted to contest the rune. The moment that haste rune showed up and that Visage was around the corner, that was him being dead.
He backed off because he didn't want to get hit by the remnant that was going to be placed on the rune, and then the worst rune that could have possibly spawned.
Yep.
Like, he doesn't have Surge, so he was just completely dead once that happened. And this Storm's going to have a fast first item, whatever he wants.
Yeah, and Darcy going to rotate into the jungle, knowing that he can't do anything on that bottom lane. There's no hope for him. So middle lane is the only lane that we're actually going to see some PvP action, because also the Lifestealer rotated into the jungle, knowing that tri lane on the top lane wouldn't be something that he was going to be living up against. So Yamate, Tinker, Queen of Pain by Abba. Which hero do you think would have the favorite of this matchup?
I think it's the Queen of Pain, seeing as he's already sitting on 2-2. Tinker's going to get some last hits under the tower for free. They're both pretty pooled. Tinker has the damage disadvantage, but with Laser he can try and use that to ensure he gets some last hits, but every single time he does that he's going to be eating a Shadow Strike, so he has to be careful with his HP pool.
Yeah, he has to have that bottle real fast, seeing if he can get that together, but of course since he has got that no talisman, his bottle won't be as fast as it maybe could have been, but he's still getting okay last hits actually. As is Abba, though. He is on 4 for 2, Yamate indeed on 6 for 1. In the meantime, there is a Razor free farming top, there is a Storm Spirit free farming bottom, and of course there's a Lifestealer in the jungle. Doesn't farm that fast, it's a bit of a startup time before he starts really getting decent farm in the jungle.
He's already got Ursas, which aren't the ideal creeps you want because they deal so much damage.
Yep.
He's going to have to pull them back each time he wants to try and do damage to them. So his jungler's going to be fairly slow to start off.
Darkseer will be jungling faster than he will. What do you think is the first time, like, look, everybody is happy with the way things are going right now. Who is the first one to rotate?
I think it's going to be MiTH. They're going to try and do something with the Visage and the Vengeful Spirit.
Oh.
Once they've already smoked up.
They've already smoked up. Gonna ganking or gonna bait out the rune ice, walking himself away. Looks like he'll give the rune up, and that was the first smoke wasted. Well, that's fun.
I think they hoped that the rune controlling Wisp would go a bit closer, but he saw the smoke in time.
Yeah, having worked there up on the high ground as well, so...
Yeah, the Queen of Pain's getting by far the better of this mid lane. He's sitting on 13 and 8 compared to the 8 and 2 of the Tinker.
That's a big difference. Yamate getting denied some as well. Those were some lasers, but he doesn't really have the kill potential that Abba has on his Queen of Pain in terms of this mid lane. Tinker will just have to wait by this time, hope that he has got boots to travel soon, and until then just not die. He can't really queue off Queen of Pain unless there's going to be some rotations from a Tusk and an IO. But even then it's going to be scary. And actually Yamate might actually dead, yeah? Abba, what are you doing?
What?
Catacombs.
Yeah.
I'm not going to call a play suboptimal, but that definitely wasn't the best idea. He could have just sat back, because once the Tinker had already got past the tier 1, like the complete range of the tier 1, and there were no creeps in range to tank the tower for him, like there was no way chasing after the Tinker was going to be beneficial for him. So he just essentially committed suicide.
Yeah, and we still had the Visage trying to make up for it, but his Soul Assumption didn't do enough damage, and that was questionable.
That does raise questions, yeah.
Yes.
Ice is going to be messing around with the Ancients. He's going to be stacking them for the Tinker, who is, now he's got that kill, can start to play a bit more confidently in the mid lane.
Yeah, because
he's still saving
credit
points
for the kill.
He's still saving points, so if the Quap plays aggressively on him, he's not going to use Rocket at all, or March, and if Quap goes on him, he's going to skill 2 points of Rocket and he's going to kill the Quap. If nothing happens, he's just going to wait, and then he's going to skill March, and he's going to go farm the Ancient stack. Which is quite clever play by him.
I like it too. We'll see if Queen of Pain is going to try again. Of course, dying there is... Yeah, it's putting her back. I mean, she's still ahead on terms of last hits, of course. But giving Yamate a kill like that kind of, restores his confidence and will allow him to just be a happy Tinker in mid.
Now, Zenith may have banned Clinks, but MiTH have decided to put a Storm safe lane, and then playing him like a Clinks. He's just going to sit on the safe lane, and he's going to farm an Orchid even before boots, and then he's just going to go and kill everyone that he can by 10 minutes.
And, of
and
course,
with that first blood,
strong.
he's going to have that faster than normal. He's not pressuring the tower, so he won't have tower gold like a Clinks normally does in a free lane, but he's got equal farm to that anyway.
Yeah, very strong up against the Tinker as well. I mean, he wants to at some point try to, TP in, march the machines, TP out, TP in, march the machines, TP out. And of course, what Storm can do is just wait for Yamate to be on a lane that he is expecting him on, ball lightning in, Orchid, and kill him off.
Okay, they smoked up with R5 and SD on the mid lane. Are they gonna get him? No, they're not gonna get him in time.
Wave of Terror is still gonna be there. TP in gets cancelled by Ice, that is. Ice. But just to show that he was able to do it. But now he has his TP on cooldown. Scream misses. Yamate is on the way out. Should be able to stay alive. Abba doesn't have another blink for another 7 seconds. It's only level 1 blink. So it's also not that long range.
If he had ulti there, the Tinker was dead, but seeing as he'd already fed the kill to the Tinker and then didn't get XP for about 30 seconds meant that he wasn't level 6, so that didn't turn out to be a kill for him. He's still dominating the mid lane in CS, but with if you look at the gold per minute, he's not that far ahead. He's only 60 ahead despite almost doubling the CS.
Yeah. And in the meantime, we also, of course, got supports that are looking to have a pretty big impact on the game. We've got Ice sitting at level 3, almost 4, Freedom 4.5. On the other side, we've got SD level 3, only just got level 3, and R5 level 2 still. And of course, the reason for that is that they tried to rotate, tried to roam, tried to gank, and it didn't work out any of the time. So they are quite far behind, actually, on the supports of Zenith, and that could really hurt. Because when that IO and Tusk reach their levels, there's not going to be a safe place on the map for those other supports.
Yeah, it's just a price of the failed rotations that have been happening. Yeah, this Tusk Wisp combo is going to severely hurt any support or squishy that's going to be on the side of MiTH, which for now seems to be the Queen of Pain.
Yeah, and their hope is then to have the Storm at that point at a level and at a farm that he can actually take the mid game for MiTH without really having to need anything else. Though he would probably like to have the Lifestealer infested in him to do some extra damage, but Lifestealer He's not been getting that much farm in the jungle. Like I said, he is not farming as fast as the Darkseer, even though the difference didn't turn out to be as big as I thought it would. Only 100 gold.
Well, the reason the Lifestealer didn't get as much farm as he could have is because they're
they're gonna go for him. Ice Shard's already dropped. There's gonna be a snowball, and that's gonna be a kill. And Yamate coming in to take it. 5 heroes of Zenith here on the top lane to make that happen. And killing off the Lifestealer. Nice one.
Yeah, at this point, Tinker's almost completely reliant on taking Ancient Stacks to get farm, because he's sitting on 16 CS at almost 8 minutes, which isn't what you want from a mid lane. Quap's sitting on 37, so he really did dominate that mid lane in CS.
Tower goes down. Ice with the last hit. And yeah. There's only one Ancient stack though, isn't it? Yep.
Yep. The Wisp decided to rotate in and just make sure the Razor had complete free farm and just to scare the Nyx off the lane, so he couldn't stack anymore.
It worked out. But then you have a Queen of Pain and a Storm on MiTH, and both of the heroes are very aggressive in terms of mid game. Oh, in comes the slow. Yamate, he already popped the Marching Machines, takes the Sonic Wave to the face. Soul Assumption comes in, doesn't kill him off though, but in comes R5. He'll end up going down. Down goes the Queen of Pain too though. Can they get another one? Yes they can. Vengeful Spirit ends up going down. Io goes down. Io doesn't go down. No, well, never mind, he did. Storm coming in.
Storm dies here. This is going to be disastrous.
He is out of mana completely, and he will die. That's 4 dead on the side of MiTH.
The first time he rotates out of his bottom lane without even taking the jungle stacks it for him, and he just didn't have any items. He just ran at them without the Orchid and then died because he ran out of mana.
Yep.
That isn't what you want to happen.
Not at all. And
now
I mean,
Razor's taking the CS lead.
They only got an IO and a Tinker in return for it. Yes, they shut down Tinker a little bit. They slow down his farm. But it's still a Tinker. At some point he will get his boot to travel. It's still going to be as dangerous as he was before.
He's looking towards a slightly delayed boost of travel timing. Normally from a mid-tink you sit between 9 to 10 minutes. If he takes some kind of ancient stack. Razor solo kills the Lifestealer.
Look at how much deck damage he stole.
Plus 254, yeah, he's hitting pretty damn hard.
Yeah. That is quite generous of Lifestealer to stick around for so long. Of course, I mean the one thing of course is if you want to break the static link you have to manta or you have to run, basically. And Lifestealer could try to run, but he only has brown boots and he's up against the Razor that has face boots, so good luck running away from that one.
Yeah, that Razor's like 1,200 gold off of a BKB, and then once that happens, seeing as anything that can kill that Razor, be it the Storm or the Quap, is gonna be magical. Seeing as the Nyx can't do anything. Once he gets that BKB, he's just not gonna die in these teamfights.
At least, I want to point out, it's not as one-sided as was game 1.
It's definitely not as one-sided. They actually have some kills at the 10-minute mark, I would trust.
They do. I feel like they are quite behind though, in terms of control of the game. I mean, they are doing okay on the farm, but in terms of control, it seems to be in the hands of Zenith.
They are sitting actually up on the gold graph right now.
They go for Yamate again. In comes the Sonic Wave perhaps as well. It's off cooldown, but doesn't get the kill or doesn't try it. And Visage is the one to go down with the relocate from Ice and Ice. 4 Ices coming your way. Doesn't work out.
Now the game gets difficult. X-Freedom, he's hit level 6 on the Tusk. He's got his ulti, he's got 3 points in his Ice Shards, and he's got a Snowball. He can now kill the everybody. So... Oh, Storm's gonna take his big camp stack in the jungle, so he's gonna be looking towards an Orchid in a minute.
That's nice. Good stacks from the supports helping out there. Getting him some extra farm.
That was of course the reason why Lifestealer couldn't use that camp to farm the jungle, so his farm was delayed, so he was forced to use the top lane, and then he died for that. So, everything comes at a price.
He did get a hand of Midas though, with Lifestealer that is. Trinicub will be able to get himself back on experience at least. In terms of farm, he'll just get himself even at least, I think, if he gets to live through all of this. In the meantime, bottom lane might be having some troubles for the Storm Spirit because Tusk is around there and...
It's a trap.
It's a
Don't
trap.
go in. Yeah, he knows. He knows something's up. Hopefully he shouldn't go on this.
And they want to actually set the trap of their own. Look at the drawing on the minimap. Want to go in from behind. They have smoked up. Will be a 4 versus 3 fight, as Lifestealer still goes down in the top lane with
They're fighting it. They're fighting into a mech Darkseer and a level 6 Tusk, and a Tinker with max marks of the machines.
Yeah, exactly.
This isn't gonna go well if they don't take this fight very well and burst that Darkseer down
Relocate
immediately.
comes in as well, and that is gonna be Martian Machines already hitting. Mechanism already used. Sonic Wave gets whiffed, and that is Queen of Pain down. And I mean, who isn't down really? The only one that's not down is the Visage, but you know that will be fixed shortly. That's the entire map cleaned. MiTH didn't lose a single hero. Sorry, Zenith didn't lose a single hero. MiTH lost everybody if you include the kill on the top lane with the Lifestealer there. That was his utter domination. I mean, that just went too fast for even the game to keep up, I believe.
Yeah, I think that was just simply a lack of presence of mind on behalf of MiTH. They saw their Lifestealer dying. They didn't use a Wisp TP for that, so then they immediately decide to take a 4-on-3 fight. But guess who are the other two? They're the Wisp and the Razor, so they're just gonna come in, and then suddenly it's a 4 versus 5. And they have a mech.
Do you think they know there was a Darkseer and a Tusk there though? Because that might have been.
Yeah, I think they definitely knew that. They decided to take that fight knowing that those two were missing off the map, but then they just didn't take the Wisp into account, and then just died.
Yeah, melted like an ice cream under the hot sun. BKB ready now on Ice Ice Ice. I mean, all these items are starting to get together real soon. Of course, you already mentioned the mechanism up on the Darkseer. Made a difference for the Tinker. Tinker was the main target for MiTH, and he was able to stay alive because of that mechanism. He has got his boots of travel. He's building towards a soul ring. And, I mean, they're just getting more and more items. They're actually going to fight again. I'm not sure why, though. R5 already down. It is going to be Razor to turn on his BKB. Finds the Storm. Storm goes down. Relocate tries to catch out someone else. Visage running away. Will he be able to run though? I don't think so. In comes a search for Ice Ice Ice, and down goes SD. There's going to be another 3 kills there. They're looking for Trina Cup, and he'll end up dropping as well. Tusk with the kill. And the only one living is the Queen of Pain. And of course, I mean, you see R5 living as well, but he was the first one to actually die. He's still level 5, so very short death timer.
Yeah, Yamato is giving a course right now on how to, with 36 CS, get a 14-minute Boots of Travel Soul Ring bottle. That is something.
Yeah.
Like, he just hasn't decided to hit creeps this game. He's just going for heroes.
Well, it's working out for him, to be fair. He's been in 13 kills out of the 17, which is quite something, as there have also been kills on the top lane, of course, where he wasn't present in.
He's using mana casting level 1 rocket, which is, I don't think that's worth it, but they're not going to take the tower.
Oh, ball lighting in, actually, X-Freedom takes a ton of damage there. He's putting a snowball, Vortex up on Yamate. Lakel's looking to take down a Tinker, but Tinker TP's out in time. In the meantime, he does take home 2 kills with him. Queen of Pain and Vengeful Spirit were of credit of the Tinker. March of the Machines working out. There still goes the Storm. Ice 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 with the hit, looking for Trina Cup. We'll be able to kill him off as well. And one more hero left standing will be dropping soon as well. BKB because he can. Soul Assumption will not do anything to X-Freedom, and that's going to be another team wipe. And I mean, I said it was a lot more even, but yeah.
Oh, okay. That one was actually more one-sided than the last one.
In the end,
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a 15-minute, so combined series time of 31 minutes. I'd say that Zenith put on a pretty good showing there.
Yeah.
MiTH suboptimal quad play, I guess. I don't think they managed to do anything with their mid-rotation or the Storm. With his Orchid, they just didn't get anything done. And the Tusk and the IO just completely destroyed the game.
And it's in theory so easy to gank up on a Tinker. I mean, Vengeful Spirit and Visage smoking up coming from behind. It should be so easy. Didn't work out.
They didn't go from behind. They ran straight through the mid lane,
yeah.
which gave him time to just walk away.
That's not called a gank anymore then, if they do that. Ganking is...
It's more like visiting your relatives
yeah.
or something, and then they decide just to not meet you and slam the door in your face, and then you're just left there with a disadvantage on your levels compared to the Zenith supports.
Yep. So, yeah, that was a very fast series. I wonder how I can turn in this into 3 VODs that people won't realize that it was a 2-game stomp. Oh well, we'll find a way. There is, of course, another quarterfinals coming up after this one, although the official starting time for that one is 1 hour and 15 minutes away from now, because, of course, we are a bit in front of schedule right now. The last one, last set quarterfinals will be Orange taking on Mineski. So stick around for that one. Ryan, do you have any shoutouts or plugins?
I'll give a shout out to VG. Let's see, who else can I shout out to? A shout out to VG and Houses for being silly, IXDL for being a very strange place. Other than that, I think I'm done.
Okay. Thank you for co-casting. Sorry for the stomps.
That's fine. It's always fun to see a BKB Razor at 13 minutes running at people, hitting people for 300.
Yep, and having a Tusk in the game as well. It wasn't really the
It's
Tusk
just
that won the game.
Yeah, he was just like, I'm here, guys. I was farming creeps for a bit, and now I'm punching you.
It
And
could
then the
be-
game was over.
It could be any hero, basically. I think.
And that was a 322.
That was a
So-
322. Oh, it is a 322.
It really is. I didn't notice that.
Me
but
neither.
that is something.
That is something. Well, Zenith making a statement
Check the
hereby.
PayPal accounts.
What?
Check
the
MiTH's
PayPal accounts. Well,
Never mind. Okay.
yeah. We're gonna jump ourselves out of this game. People stick around for the next semifinals. Not quite sure if we will have a break in between or not, but I'm thinking we are. But I will check it and find out. So don't go anywhere.